Everybody. Happy Thursday, April 9th. Hope this finds everybody well and kind. Well and kind. And thinking about this morning and class, I have been thinking, what's the most important thing that I would like to share and have my practice be this morning. And I think that, the first thing that came to mind was kindness and judgment, losing judgment. And I think that it's a challenging time for people to be able to do that, to practice kindness and soften the judgment. When we're faced with challenging situations, the judgment part of our brain will kick into gear. And I would suggest that that's not the helpful part of our brain right now. So that's my suggestion for the day. Softening judgment, allowing kindness, and noticing how we are judging ourselves or others during this time, and just noticing that. So practicing the skill of observing our thoughts. All of this is pretty interwoven into the yoga practice that I teach anyway, but I will be incorporating it a little bit more today. Observing our thoughts, not becoming attached to the judgmental thoughts of ourselves or other people or what might be happening around us, if they're noises or distractions. And when those things come up, because that is an automatic response in our brain, so when the judgment comes up, I would say the most important thing is, what do we do next? And I would suggest engaging in a practice of softening that judgment, observing that it is happening, softening it, and moving into curiosity. So that would be all brain, right? Softening judgment and just being curious. I'm curious about how long this person's going to stand next to me while I'm doing yoga. I'm curious how my dog is going to be, or when they're going to move. Whatever may come up for you at your home today, just noticing the judgment, observing, moving to curiosity. So that's the brain part. And the body part would be to be noticing what's going on in the body during that time of judgment. Am I tight? What sensations are actually occurring, and can I soften the body? So softening the body will encourage a change in softening the mind. And so you can play with either or both of those when you notice judgment, softening the body, softening the mind. And so the beginning and the end of this practice will be similar. We're actually going to start in Shavasana, which I know some people love that pose and other people have a challenge with that pose. So I would encourage you again to just notice that. Notice if it's difficult. Notice if the mind is wandering, thinking about other things. And can you notice the sensation that's happening in your body at that time? And can you soften it? Soften it towards the floor. So let's begin. And you know what? Sitting up here talking. I found a quote this morning. So I'll start with that. So two things that jumped out as I opened this book this morning. It's the first and second limbs of yoga, the yamas and niyamas. And so I open to this. Our minds are like the river carrying things in it. If we identify with what the mind is carrying, thoughts, stories, beliefs, then we will think we are those things. However, if we identify with the divine within us, the pure river, and merely watch the thoughts float by, we will know we are simply carrying the thoughts, stories, and beliefs. We are not who we are. They are not who we are. We are who we are. They are not who we are. And Anais Nin, if you're familiar with that writer, she wrote, "We don't see things as they are. We see things as we are." We don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. So playing with that idea, those ideas in practice today, and finding a comfortable shavasana to start. Your shavasana can be in any form. So if you'd like to use supports, props, pillows, blankets, allowing yourself to get those things. To be supported by the ground or whatever props you have. And then to begin softening towards the ground. Beginning to notice where the thoughts are in this moment as you settle in, transitioning from moving, listening, to resting. The mind can become very busy with transitions, and we are all, I hesitate because that's a big word, but I would say pretty close to all engaging in a transition right now of some sort. That transition could be transforming even moment to moment. So can you take this opportunity to just notice where the thoughts are in this transition? Getting to notice the speed. Being curious if the thoughts are outside of this current yoga practice. And beginning the experiment with softening judgment. Can you notice that, observe that, and not judge yourself for it? Just noticing with curiosity, oh, I was thinking about what I'm going to do next. I'm curious about why I'm traveling away from this moment, resting on my mat. And can I soften the body? Allowing yourself to fully fall into this pose. And taking a few moments here in silence to just observe, notice, soften, staying present in this moment for yourself. Can you soften even more? Noticing how this pose feels for you in this moment. Can you allow yourself to let go of thoughts and judgment in this moment? A thought might be, oh man, I thought I was going to be moving a lot. Maybe people have already left. Are you still here? Can you stay in this present moment, softening the body and allowing yourself to begin to let go? Noticing that the thoughts are not you. The beliefs are not you. Ultimately, in this pose, accepting that we do not know and allowing that to be okay. Letting go, softening the body towards the ground. Acknowledging, I don't know what the future has to hold. And recognizing that you do know what this present moment is holding. Can you stay in this present moment? Noticing and observing thoughts of judgment of yourself or me or something else. And can you soften the muscles towards the floor? Letting go of those thoughts, not attaching to them. Feeling the floor and the ground, the earth below you. Can you really feel the connection of your body to the earth? In this present moment. In this present moment, can you practice kindness? Kindness to yourself, to others? Can you allow yourself to notice that we don't know what is happening for another person? We may think that we do, but can we allow ourselves to realize that we don't know? And that is okay. Not knowing, it's okay. Can we just practice kindness in the unknowing? Can we notice the difference of what our body does when we judge versus when we're kind? Can we feel the difference? Taking one more minute of silence here, noticing, softening, playing. And then beginning to notice your breath. No need to change it or judge it. You notice the natural rhythm, allowing whatever your breath is doing to be perfect in this moment. Noticing any judgment about the breath and softening those thoughts, softening the body, noticing the breath. Maybe if it feels right, deepening the breath slightly, increasing the inhale, extending the exhale. How does it feel to play with breath right now? Maybe you find yourself becoming curious. Oh, when was the last time I played with lengthening my breath? Rather than go into judgment, oh, I should have done that yesterday. Can you just notice? Oh, notice how it feels. Being in this present moment with yourself, meeting yourself with kindness. Feeling the breath increase on the inhale and extend on the exhale. And very slowly noticing and feeling gravity as you begin to move. Can you begin to lift up one leg, moving it towards your chest? But can you feel the weight and the gravity of that leg? Can you appreciate that weight and gravity? Rather than moving to judgment, can you hold that leg in, gently resting your hands on top of the lower part of the leg? Softening towards the mat. Can you feel gravity weight of body, softening of muscles, kindness in the thoughts. Maybe you feel your hip gently releasing towards the earth. Can you continue softening the muscles and allowing that to happen? Taking a few breaths here. Softening the body, allowing gravity to do what it does best. Holding us to the earth, grounding us. Gently releasing that leg back down. And very slowly bringing the other leg up. You notice gravity and weight here. Gently holding that knee in towards the chest. Softening the muscles. Allowing a release in the left hip. Maybe you feel that moving towards the earth. Taking a moment to think about gravity. Think about how people often talk about gravity. You know, oh, gravity makes my skin saggy. Oh, gravity pulls everything down. Noticing the judgment in those thoughts. Just noticing and observing that belief about gravity. Can we encourage a change, a shift in that thinking? Can we find gratitude for the gravity that holds us, grounds us to the earth? Can we feel a kindness towards that gravity? Can we be curious about that feeling? And then gently releasing that leg long again. Reaching up above your head and stretching as fully as feels good for you. Moving in any way. It feels good, stretching the body long. Then bringing both knees into the chest, hugging yourself. If it feels good to lift the head and curling even tighter, doing that. Softening the body. And lowering the head if it was raised, allowing the hands to come out to the sides. And slowly lowering the legs to the right. Creating a gentle twist in the spine, allowing the legs and feet to follow wherever they do. Attempting to keep the shoulder blades on the mat. Breathing in here, and maybe your exhale allows your gaze to fall over your right fingertips. Creating more of a twist with the neck. Can you soften into this stretch? Breathing in, breathing out. On your next inhale, gently bringing the legs back to center and exhaling, slowly lowering to the left side. Legs gently rest, shoulders moving towards the mat. Inhaling here, exhaling, maybe gazing over your right fingertips. Softening here. Noticing the thoughts, noticing the body, melting into kindness. Next, inhale, lift the knees back up and feet meet the mat. Allowing your feet to come wide on the mat if that works for you. And gently allowing the knees to fall to the right. Making any changes in this pose if it doesn't work for you. Knowing that is perfect. Softening any judgment. Encouraging kindness and curiosity. Can you feel any changes happening in the body, even with these slow movements? Next, inhale, lifts the knees, and exhale, allowing the knees to fall to the left. We often think that the body needs a lot of vigorous movement, and that can feel good as well. How often do we stay slow and soft and stretch? Can you allow that process to happen without judgment of yourself or me? Inhaling, lifting the knees back up, lengthening the legs long, reaching one more time up over the head, stretching the body long, and then gently coming up to a seated position, however works for your body. And if it works, allowing the feet to meet in front of you. And if that doesn't, crossing the legs, reaching them out in front, doing whatever feels good for your body. Feet can also be stretched out. So can you start by just noticing the feeling of the feet connecting? Maybe even close your eyes for this. Can you feel the connection from foot to foot? How long can the mind stay focused on that connection, on the sensations occurring there? And when it wanders away, is there judgment? Or are you able to gently soften that and come back to the sensations with kindness to yourself? Just notice that. And then inhaling, feeling the head reaching towards the sky, feeling the base of the spine on the floor, ground. Feeling that spine as long as possible. And breathing up, feeling the energy moving up through the top of the head. And on the exhale, can you feel that energy moving down through the base of the spine, grounding you with each exhale. Breathing in, feeling the lift. Breathing out, grounding down. Breathing in, lift. Breathing out, grounding down. And then feeling that straight, long spine. Inhaling, lifts, and exhaling, folds. And here it may only be an inch forward. Can you feel that spine staying straight? Remembering that the neck is also part of the spine, so not dropping the chin down, but feeling that straight spine, hinging at the hips, inhaling tall, exhaling folds. And if you'd like to play with using the elbows to encourage the knees down, I'm just taking a few breaths here, breathing in, breathing out. Strong, straight spine. And walking the fingertips forward if that works for you. I'm just feeling that stretch. Breathing in, breathing out. Gently coming back up, keeping one leg in and reaching the other one long out to the side. Feeling that nice straight spine, inhaling, and then centering over that leg that is out and doing the same thing, hinging at the hips. On the exhale, breathing out. Notice the body. Notice the thoughts about what's occurring. Are you judging the tightness? Can you be curious about that tightness instead? And can you soften the body? Allowing your hands to be wherever they're comfortable. You could use blocks. Inhaling lifts, exhaling may fold. Being soft and gentle with yourself. Body and mind. And then coming back up, bringing the spine back to a neutral position. And hand on leg, lifting the other one up and reaching over. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, lifts, exhale, stretches. Reaching through the fingertips, feeling that stretch on the side body. Next inhale lifts you up. Inhaling, arms lift. And exhaling, twisting, so hand meets the knee, keeping that spine nice and strong. Can you flex the extended foot? Inhaling here and exhaling, twisting, maybe looking over the shoulder. Is your spine talking to you? Gently untwisting, bringing that knee back if it's possible, feeling those feet meet. Nice straight spine, shoulders relaxed and dropped away from the ears. And can you allow the thoughts to go directly to your feet? Can you feel the sensations in your feet, even if they're not in this pose, touching each other, wherever your feet currently are? Can you allow the thoughts to go to the feet? Notice the sensations. Inhale, lifting up through the top of the head. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifts you back up, keeping that foot in and extending the other one long. Inhaling, feeling that straight spine, root grounded into the floor. Lifting up through the top of the head and exhaling, turning over that leg. Next, inhale, lifts. Exhale, folding forward, hinging at the hips. Allowing that spine to be straight. Again, allowing the hands to be wherever they're most comfortable. You can use your leg as support. You could reach towards your toes. Wherever you are, meeting it with kindness. Softening the judgment, softening the body. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, folds. And then coming back up and hand meets the legs, lifting the opposite arm up and over, stretching to the foot over the leg, reaching through the fingertips and feeling the stretch in the side body. Breathing in, and breathing out. Inhale, lifts you up, bringing both arms up, reaching, and exhaling, twisting to the other side. Hand meets knee, other hand behind. Feeling the twist, engaging that long leg, flexing the foot, feeling the active leg. Inhale, lifts, and exhale, may twist you more, maybe look over the shoulder. Next, inhale lifts you up, reaching with the arms and coming back to center, allowing both legs to be out in front. Flexing through the feet, maybe the heels lift. Can you feel your legs strong? This may be a challenging pose. Or can you meet that with kindness rather than judgment? And see how active you can make it, feeling the spine straight, each inhale lifting up through the top of the head. Each exhale grounds you into the base of the spine. Legs stay active. They may even be shaken. And then relaxing the legs, inhaling lifts, exhaling, hinging at the hips, swan diving over the seated forward fold, allowing yourself to find your own version, allowing your head to be loose, neck is loose, Inhaling and exhaling. Playing with this forward fold in a seated position. Noticing any thoughts of judgment. Allowing yourself to soften those thoughts. Can you soften into curiosity? Can you allow yourself to know that you don't know the future? So maybe there's a thought of, oh, I can't do this. And could you soften into the curiosity of what the future may have to hold? If you continue playing, could that change? I am doing it now, in this present moment. And being kind to myself right now, meeting myself where I'm at, knowing I do not know the future, and allowing that to be okay. Taking one more breath here. Your next inhale lifts you up and brings you to a tabletop position. So in this class, although it may not feel very active, what we are doing are the 7 extensions of the spine. So the first one is that long extension through the top of the head, through the neck, straight spine, all the way to the tailbone. So in this tabletop position, engaging the core, pushing the belly button towards the spine, looking down at the mat and feeling that nice straight spine. That was the first extension. We did that sitting as well. And then another extension is arching the spine in one direction. So can you drop your belly, lift the chin, hips left. Feel that arch. Shoulders away from the ears. Allowing the belly to drop. Inhaling here, and then exhaling and rounding the spine. Third extension. Breathe in here. Next inhale lifts you back up, chin to the ceiling. Exhale rounds the spine. Inhale lifts the chin. Exhale rounds the spine. Inhale back to that first extension, a straight extension of the spine. And then lifting the right leg behind, feeling balanced on all 3 points, still on the mat. Slight inhale, lifting up, bringing the toes over to the left. Strong arms, and then looking over towards your toes. So feeling the stretch on the right side of your body. Fourth extension of the spine, curving, stretching through the side. And if you'd like, you could lift the right arm up, creating a little bit more of a stretch. Arm can also go behind. So playing with what your body would like today. creating a curve in the spine. Inhale, lifting that leg back up, feeling it strong, and then knee to mat. Inhaling, the left leg lifts nice and strong. Inhale, bringing it over the right foot, toes meet, arms strong, shoulders away from the ears, and then glancing back at the toes. Feeling a stretch through the left side. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, lift the arms, or leg and knee back down. And then just pushing back into a child's pose for a minute, feeling that long spine. Can you start at the base of your spine and slowly visualize moving up? And be curious about the vertebrae all the way. Notice when the mind gets distracted, and can you meet that with kindness? Encourage it to come back to the spine. Coming back to a tabletop position. And the last two extensions are a twist. So inhaling, right arm lifts. Exhaling, needling underneath. Softening down into the mat. Twisting the spine. Breathing into the twist. So these 7 extensions help to release the spine and our nervous system. They're very good to do when you wake up, or right before bed, or anytime. Inhaling lifts the arm. Exhaling, hands meet the mat. Inhaling, left arm lifts. Exhaling, needling through, gently resting on the mat. Breathing into the twist. Softening into the twist. Softening any thoughts of judgment. Encouraging kindness to yourself, those around you. And next, inhale, lifts the arm back up, and then plants it on the mat. Allowing yourself to find your way all the way down to the mat. Gently. All the way down into a Shavasana pose of your choice. So finding one that works for you. Maybe playing with something new. I will encourage thoughts that boost the immune system. One is lifting the chest. So using a pillow or a blanket or something else. Lifting the chest. Another one could be legs up the wall. You can actually do that without a wall as well if you'd like. But resting against a wall is perfect. And if the legs don't go straight, feeling free to use the feet up against the wall as well. So those are 2 poses you could use. Or one that feels right for you. And allowing yourself to nestle in. Making any adjustments that you need. Taking your time. And allowing yourself to fall into this pose. Noticing the sensations in the body in this present moment. Do you notice any changes from when you first started? Can you notice the changes that have occurred with just doing a few seated and kneeling extensions of the spine? Can you notice the shift in the thoughts or the body? And if it's hard to notice any shifts, can you notice that in this moment you also have the ability to play with shifting? Softening the thoughts into kindness, softening the body towards the floor. We often discount this intentional rest. We think we should be going, doing faster, more powerful. Can you see the value in intentionally resting? Can you see that this period in our lives right now that we all share actually seems to be encouraging a slowdown, a rest? Situations may feel like we need to speed up and do things faster and hurry up so that we're all okay. I would suggest that it's completely the opposite. And if you're kind and notice this dynamic that's happening, I would think in many, if not most of us, this change between the speed up and the slow down. Can you notice where it's most difficult for you? And can you notice that with kindness rather than judgment? Even before all of this, we looked for balance in our lives. And I would say this opportunity in our current state of the world is a beautiful opportunity to play with balance. Everything is more extreme, everything is magnified. It makes it a little bit easier for observation. Can you notice when you're amped up and moving quickly? And can you slow and soften in those moments? And can you notice those moments in which you feel slow or unmotivated? Can you engage and play with meeting that with kindness and gently encouraging yourself to move? Finding balance through kindness curiosity. Noticing the value in resting our bodies on the ground, feeling that support the ground and gravity give us. Can you notice right now in this moment how you are tight and lifting off the mat? And can you soften towards that even more? Can you be so curious about how the body's activated right now that you surprise yourself by noticing a tense muscle when you didn't even realize it was tense? Can you continue to do that? Scanning the body, softening, being surprised. Softening the body, softening the mind, noticing any thoughts of judgment, meeting that with kindness and curiosity. Isn't that interesting? For the last moments of class, can you surrender completely in this pose? Can you know that we don't know? Can you really understand that in this moment and be okay with not knowing? Can you let go? Can you completely surrender in this pose? Can you notice where your thoughts are right now? Have you noticed judgment? Have you judge for the judgment? Can you just notice that? And can you soften back in for the last minute? Staying curious, meeting your thoughts and body with kindness, and completely letting go in this moment right now. Very gently creating movement in the body in whatever way feels right for you. Gently coming out of that pose. Continuing the kindness and gentleness of your body and mind. You find yourself in a seated position, softening the gaze or closing the eyes, noticing how you feel in this moment. Inhaling, lifting the arms up, taking anything that was helpful. And exhaling, letting go of whatever you need to let go. Doing that one more time. Inhaling, what was useful? What do you take away? And exhaling, letting whatever you need go. Allowing yourself to gently open the eyes if they were closed. Coming back to the space. Thank you all for being here with me in my practice. I hope it was helpful for today. And I hope you continue to take away kindness for your thoughts and bodies, curiosity. And just knowing we don't know, and that can be okay. We don't have to be scared of what we don't know. Meeting each moment with kindness. And thank you all. Have a wonderful Thursday. I'll see you soon.